Welcome back to the No Judge Necessary podcast, where we got the opinions like DC, we're crazy like Gaethje, and we're as high as O'Malley. We're the podcast for fight fans that want to see fists fly and don't want to wait on the judges. I'm your host, Brick, and as always, my cornerman, Nil, and Matty P. How we doing, boys?
We are here.
And
Back
no
to New
fights
Year,
late.
bro.
Yeah, no fights for a couple weeks. Been kind of losing it,
Yeah, it's been
holidays,
weird, huh?
family, all that crap. But, I'm ready for some fights. But before we get into some fights, next year we got to go over the awards for last year. Big year of fights, but we got ourselves the 2021 Judgies Awards.
Let's go. Second annual. We're about to start doing this the first Friday of the new year. It's a week later than everyone else, so maybe you'll actually tune in. Maybe you'll be sick of these awards, but ours might be a little different. Some are kind of super serious. Some are just there for the hell of it, and we're just here for a good time. So, shall we?
We shall. Let's get right into it. First award of the night. We got the knockout of the year. We're the No Judge Necessary podcast. We hate when it goes to decision, so we love these kind of fighters. Nominees this year are Ngannou versus Stipe 2. Corey Sandhagen versus Frankie Edgar with that flying knee. Yuri Prochazka versus Dominic Reyes. Usman versus Masvidal 2. Chris Barnett versus John Vellante. And
Nice.
Fiziev versus Riddell. A stack category.
These are some thumpers. We're coming in hot.
Oh, I forgot about a couple of these.
Yeah, that was the
Forgot
fun
about-
part, doing the research for
Forgot about
this
Chris
show.
Barnett. Forgot about Chris Barnett. That's crazy.
And the post-fight flip, that shit was, fam,
All right.
electric.
Well, let's not bury the lead. Your winner is Chris Barnett versus John Vellante.
Really? He said, winner, chicken dinner. Oh,
Let's get a little highlight here.
yikes. We got this on film. Oh, we missed the spinning wheel shit.
Oh, what?
Yo, this is not
This is
video.
a terrible
We literally
video.
We literally missed it. Like,
But
hold up. We got a replay?
We got a
Yeah,
replay here?
chill. Replay. Oh, my God.
All right. Oh, there it is. There it is.
All right, there we
The
go.
spinning heel kick into
And
the
then,
front flip. Gotta love our boy Chris Barnett. This is going to be interesting with how these YouTube videos go tonight.
these videos are like the Bellator.
Hey, love it.
Bellator fucking replays over here. Really, that was KO of the year. We had a lot of great ones. Ngannou over Stipe for the belt. The way he did it too was hella impressive. Sandhagen, Edgar,
I
flying
would
knee
say-
super early.
I would
You
have
guys
been
remember?
saying I would have been saying
You
that
would-
again, to be honest, because just the timing, the perfection, seeing him drop like that, the whole place was so quiet. But hey, you can't beat a Chris Barnett knockout. Come on.
No.
Against the dude that big, I didn't even know he can get his foot up there.
Yeah, that's I think where you see it. When you see a heavyweight be that kind of an athlete, it truly changes the game.
Prochazka versus John Reyes.
Ooh.
That was,
That was
the memes that were made out of that one, that was vicious, bro. That put Yuri on the map.
Honorable mention just for the memes: Cheeto Vera versus Frankie Edgar. The knockout wasn't great, but
Frankie
the
had a
memes
rough
were.
one, man. Frankie had a rough year.
Yeah.
Frankie really did have a rough year.
We got to make that a category next year. Roughest year. Like, who had the roughest year?
That's rough. I'm in. Nil, you want to take the next category?
Yeah, we got submission of the year. The first nominee is Clay Guida versus Leandro Santos, rear naked choke. Remember that fight when he was barely on his last limb? Came back and submitted him. The next one, we got Anthony Fluffy Hernandez when he defeated Rodolfo Vieira, Armin Guillotine. This guy was like 9-time jiu-jitsu world champ, completely gassed out after the first round. Fluffy Hernandez submitted him. The next nominee is the Random Bouncer versus Dylan Dennis. That one went viral. That was a legendary submission. The fourth one is Andre Muniz versus Jacare Souza, the inverted armbar.
That was nasty.
That shit was wild. And nobody submits Jacare like that, so you know it's top notch. And last but not least, on the last card of the year, Jordan Leverett versus Matt Sales, the inverted triangle.
Ooh, sneaking in there. That was a sneaky one. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, before we announce, we should all pick who we think is the best. I think.
I'm going to go with a very biased take. I got my dog Clay Guida. I never saw that RNC coming. That was probably one of the comebacks of the year. Like,
yeah, we bet on that fight though. We got Clay on that one.
Yes, sir.
Honorable mention: Mateus Gamrot against Jeremy Stevens when he commered his ass in like the first round, and everyone was like, "Oh, like low key that should have been on the list or is honorable mentions." But we got any of these, or am I getting too ahead of ourselves?
Would you like to announce our winner?
Yes, we are going to announce the winner. We got Random Bouncer versus Dylan Dennis.
Yes. I believe we do have some video.
This is the best video.
Clap it up for the bouncer.
He taps out. He taps out. I see the tap.
He's putting the thumbs up.
Putting the thumbs up and shit.
And now he's about to tap.
There it is. I love how the staff is like standing over him like a ref. I mean, I got to say, that staff, man, has better positioning than Herb Dean.
With the chaos. Oh, now he's deep.
Now he got the extension.
Oh, shit. Now he's having to fight the hands hard.
Matty P, is that you in the Zion Williamson shirt?
I would never be that disrespectful and stand in the way like that.
No, that's him in the gray.
Yeah, real talk.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Now there's more people coming out. Yikes. Oh, now the cops is coming. Oh, my days.
See, and this is where I think the security guard really wins this award, is like when you can change positions and still keep that dominant position. You know, that's where his jiu-jitsu game was just elite.
Yep, that's a submission of the year.
That
hate it or love it. That is it right there.
Love it.
But if we were getting real serious on here, I would think the surprise and the upset of Anthony Fluffy Hernandez probably leads the line on winning this shit. But just the viralness of the last one, it's just you can't say no to that.
Yeah, and how much nobody likes Dylan Denise. It's perfect.
Exactly.
Yep.
I completely agree, but I like that. I definitely think that Fluffy Hernandez needs his due against Vieira. Like, that was against a jiu-jitsu black belt world champion. That
like 7-time champ. Like,
and then let's get a little more serious. First team all 2021. So this is kind of like your all NBA, all Madden type team. We got a starting five. Somewhere maybe controversial, but here's what we got. We've got Kumar Usman, Islam Makhachev, Sean O'Malley, Charles Oliveira, and Tai Tuivasa. A strong class.
Great five right there. I mean, can't really argue with any of them.
Yeah, they all had great years.
Yeah, I mean, it was really interesting when I was doing the research for this. This was definitely a year where, obviously for, outside reasons, not entirely controlled by the fighters, but this was a year where a lot of people only had maybe 2 to 3 fights. So to really, set yourself apart, to have that big moment like an Usman or Oliveira did, to have those viral moments like O'Malley or Tai Tuivasa did, or to actually be active like Islam did, I think that's what puts you in this class.
Well, the reason why is because of roster inflation. It's kind of like the NBA with all these 10-day contracts, and it's like that they're handed out because of COVID. Back in 2020, when they were going to Fight Island, people were testing positive. You need someone to come in last minute at the Apex Center. Whatever the case is, people were popping up and coming through, and it's just inflating the roster. And on top of that, they brought back the Ultimate Fighter. They've had Contender Series still. So the roster's never been – it's the biggest it's ever been, and I think we're going to see it. Like, guys aren't going to fight crazy amounts per year.
Right. And in some ways, for sort of the health of the fighters, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But I will say –
it waters it down somewhat.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like when there's guys like Kevin Holland that fights like 5 times in 2020.
Correct.
I'm like,
Yeah, no, I agree on that. I will say, probably for the health of the fighters, it's going to be a better thing that they're only fighting, 3, maybe 4 times a year. But it is going to be a factor where these guys, as we're saying, you're only going to get 2 or 3 opportunities to do something big in a year. And as we see with these stacked divisions,
I got 15 minutes to put on a show.
That's
what
it.
Sean O'Malley always says. And it's so true.
That's it.
And also, first team, all 20, or first team, you got to, it's where you're doing it, too. It's not just, I got 4 wins on the prelims against nobody.
Right.
No offense. It's the people who, under the pay-per-view lights, are consistently coming out and balling. And to me, this was the squad.
No doubt. And we had to do a second team all 2021. That class is Juliana Pena, Cyril Gane, Bilal Muhammad, Rose Namajunas, and Marina Rodriguez.
Low-key, I think Casey O'Neill should be on this list.
I can kind of agree with that. I think
you have to go into what you just said a second ago. Like, where did you land?
That's true. No, that's true. And I agree with that. All right, touche.
A little bit of a teaser. I think we'll see Casey O'Neill later, but I think it's exactly that. The stage that she did it on, I think she prepped herself to, possibly launch herself right into this class. But this class stands alone. I mean, the upset with Juliana Pena, that was incredible. That was probably one of the moments of the year. No one saw that coming. Cyril Gane just tearing up the heavyweight class. You could argue
first team.
Huh?
You could argue first team for Cyril Gane.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If he got that title shot, if he, if that fight that's happening in February happens in December, he probably makes first team.
He could be fighter of the year possibly too.
Could be
true.
If
that's very true.
I definitely want to give some love to fucking Marina Rodriguez and Bilal. Those two, super active, really tore up a division. And in a year that, like we said, people weren't extremely active, they both found a way to really get in there and really make a name for themselves. So wanted to give them the love that they deserve. And then next category, what do we got?
We got first team all COVID. Yeah?
Yep. Do we know
what is the difference between all COVID and just 2021?
So all COVID is a guy like Bobby Green, who maybe you haven't seen for a little bit, and all of a sudden COVID comes around, and this guy has 5 fights. It's like a Kevin Holland, if you will, like 5 fights like last year.
Active and said, fuck it.
Yeah, like who's the most active and said, fuck it? Who had the most unfortunate circumstance of COVID? Who, like, I don't know. It's just your first team all COVID. Like, you had a fucked up year. You couldn't get any fights together, regardless of whatever the case is. Like, I don't know. It's just the BS category of the year.
And we only have 3 nominees for this category this year. It goes to Dan Hooker, Jeff Molina, and Adrian Yanez.
It's got to be either Hooker or Molina, I feel like, because Yanez had a hell of a year still. But Dan Hooker, I couldn't even go home.
Correct.
Yes. If there was a winner,
that's exactly.
If there's a winner of this award, it is absolutely Dan Hooker. What this man's went through throughout this year, in the cage, out of the cage, in quarantine, out of quarantine.
It's a loser, really. He got played.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where this category has come out of.
Or like, say there's a new Fight Island, like someone who goes 6-0 in a bubble scenario in Fight Island, like that, or like 2-0 even, or just they fought 3 times, went like 1-2 even. That could be like first team all COVID. It's just like anything that's COVID related.
COVID made Dan Hooker go to 45.
Correct. And it also gave it to Jeff Molina 3 times. And that's why he's also on this list.
And Adrian Yanez just popped up every single time that someone got COVID. They were like, yo, call Yanez. Like, so that's how he snuck onto this list.
He benefited. The other 2 didn't.
Harry Hunsucker, another guy who I feel like just like pops out of the blue and is just willing to scrap last minute.
He got fucked up twice. I don't think.
Oh yeah, yo, we didn't recap the last card, but that's cool. But while we're just shooting it, Justin Tafa's head kick was absurd.
Through the double guard, just
Yeah. You want to take the next category, P?
yeah, I gotta look through the notes here.
We're on the
Newcomer
of the year.
Gotcha. Yep, I'm right here. Okay. Newcomer of the year. We've got Paddy Pimblett,
Okay.
Aaron Blanchfield, Jeff Molina, as discussed, Bruno Blindado Silva, not to be confused with Bulldog, and Casey O'Neill, who we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
This is a stat class.
What do you guys think? Newcomer. I mean, Patty's an easy. Of course, Patty came out the woodworks, but
Right.
I think Casey O'Neill is a sneaky.
But I think this is one of these categories where like where you do it at matters.
Yeah.
You know, like Paddy Pimblett came in with the name, did his thing, and got it done. Now, Aaron Blanchfield also looked impressive, couple wins and progressed.
I would
That's
say
a tough one.
This Bruno Silva went from hated on this podcast to beloved. That's a big.
That's true. It's a massive
That's true.
progress for him.
That is true.
Blanchfieldistan, like that's where everyone wants to get their wrestling now. And then that changed a lot this year. So Aaron Blanchfield definitely was on.
But like O'Neill,
my
3
short
fights,
list.
3 finishes. Like, what are we talking? So it's like
We all know the
this is
winner
such an
here.
open. Yeah,
We all
It's
know
gotta
who
be.
the winner is.
give it to me.
It's the
Shit.
fucking Patty. Patty the Batty. Let's do it, kid. I mean,
Is this the whole fight? We're not watching the whole fight, are we?
it's like 4 minutes.
Oh yeah. So
But
we're just gonna talk for this.
yeah, just kind of talking over. I mean, he is
He almost got
immediately
clipped
all
in this
on
fight.
that.
Let's not be frauds.
Oh, absolutely. But that's the thing.
gets
You
blocked
can't
in
knock
this
out
shit.
someone from Liverpool. That's the thing. And that's why I
Darren
love
Till
this.
can tell you
guy.
about that.
Yeah, just ask Masvidal.
Yeah, that's
I was
true.
there live for that shit, man. I
This is
seen
true.
it. He got put through the fucking center of the octagon.
That is absolutely true. But that's kind of what I love about Patty. Is it's
You seen Kamzat try to pronounce Paddy Pimblett?
Yes.
He's like Bobby Pimblett,
no.
Bobby Pimblett. Like
Oh, that's bad.
it's so bad.
It was hilarious.
It's so good though.
Yeah, I mean, I just love Patty, and like that's kind of what I love about him is he is a talented prospect. He had an awesome debut, but he's just electric, and I like the fact that he can take a beating. I like the fact that he can take a
Getting
hit.
his shit rocked.
Oh, he's getting his ass beat right here, but that's not how it's going to end. And that's what I love about him is that like
It's pretty tough.
I feel like there's so many people on debuts or, especially debuts that kind of, they fight these trash cans and they never get tested for their first 3-4 fights and we don't know who the fuck they are. Like, I feel like we figured out who the fuck Paddy Pimblett is.
I don't think one fight's enough to know who the
I
fuck
do
that
like that he was champion in Cage Warriors and lost and then regained the belt. I think there's a lot to be said from that. I think you can really gain a lot of experience going through that process. And he talks about how he thought he was the shit of the world and someone humbled him and now he had to realize that. And now he's just like confident in a different way, which maybe could be true, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I don't know if I believe the hype.
I think I do.
I want to, but like, I don't know if I do.
There
Yeah,
it is. The
video was
finish.
crazy.
Yeah, that video is boof. But anyways,
Anywho.
fuck it. It is what it be.
Right.
But yeah, newcomer of the year. I mean, it's not even just because of the fight. It's because of the post-fight interview. It's Instagram. Let me get my account back, you lizards.
And that's something
Like,
that I
that's-
considered a newcomer because like he came onto the scene. Like there is
Yeah.
not there are
That's what
the
I was trying to
percentage
say,
of
where you did it
the
at,
amount
man.
of people that knew the name Paddy Pimblett in 2020. I mean, I was one of them, but there was very few. And the people that know the name Paddy Pimblett today, astronomical.
He's what started the newly newcomer of the week.
It's true. That's
Like,
actually
he was like
true.
the
He
first
was the
guy
first
that I was
newly
like,
newcomer
yo,
of the week.
This guy's fucking electric as shit, and I'm just like start bringing young electric guys on.
Agreed. And that's a perfect transition into our next category. We got the Nilly Stat of the Year.
All right, so this nil stat of the year, you know that clip of the coach that's like, some may be good, some may be shit. Like, that's what this is. It's just whatever the fuck comes to mind. So first we got Misha Sirknov was tested 27 times by USADA despite only fighting twice, and he lost both of these fights by unanimous decision. By far the most tested athlete, 5 more tests than anyone else. Sean O'Malley landed 8.37 strikes per minute. I believe the next highest was like 8.1, but then it dropped off to like 7.5. So
That's
O'Malley's
ridiculous.
really throwing a shitload of strikes per minute. Max Holloway landed a record 445 significant strikes against Calvin Kattar. The previous record was 290.
That's
So absolute bananas.
He also broke the record in that fight for strikes thrown with 744. Absolutely ridiculous.
The next stat is Derek Lewis KO record. He improved it to 13, most knockouts all time. And last but not least, JP Buys got knocked down and dropped 7 times in 23 minutes of fighting. That is not even 2 full fights. And this guy got dropped 7 times. And for that reason, he is your winner. I just thought it was too funny to pass up on a
I really
serious
thought
note.
the Misha Sirknov USADA was going to win it. I really did. I
I
just
thought
thought like
Max would win. As far as impressiveness, Max
Yeah,
would
on
win.
a real note, yes, Max wins it.
This isn't about
Correct.
that, apparently.
No, it's not. We're just fucking around. This guy
That's,
got
that's why
dropped.
JP Guys won this shit.
Yeah,
But hey-
correct.
And I just want to throw one challenge on this stat. Didn't he get knocked down 8 times? Once by Cheyenne Vliesmas?
Whoa. Yikes.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
On to the next.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah.
category. We got the walkout of the year. I think this is a stat category. We've got Dan Hooker, Many Men by 50 Cent. We got Colby Covington at UFC 268. You suck. Honestly, got to give him a ton of credit for that one.
I love it.
We got Drew Dober. This is How We Do It by Montel Jackson. We got Tai Tuivasa with Barbie Girl by Aqua. And we
Yes.
have Cody Brundage, 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton.
It's got to be between Ty and Colby here.
Yeah. I couldn't agree
It's a
more.
I mean, Dan Hooker always comes out to Many Men, so I wasn't surprised, but it's a dope ass walkout. So understand.
Honorable mention is it pays the cost to be the boss, and it's Dustin Poirier. Like, that's pretty fire.
No,
whatever
or
that shit
what's
is.
another one is tied to Abasa's. He had another song that everyone's
Celine
going crazy.
Dion. I feel like he's got like a slow ass like Celine Dion
No, it
song,
wasn't
and
that
everyone
one.
sings it.
It wasn't that one. Oh God, hold on.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know it.
My heart will go on,
Yeah.
and everyone goes crazy, and they all start fucking singing it. As it's just,
Oh,
yeah,
it was-
exactly.
It was Spice Girls, the "Wanna Be My Lover."
Yes.
That one. That
Gotta get
I
with
think
my
almost
friends.
my Barbie Girl.
I mean, let's be perfectly honest. We could probably just have an entire category for Tai Tuivasa. And that's why we had to do it.
I think
Your winner, Tai Tuivasa, Barbie Girl, and Aqua.
yeah.
I have a video on YouTube. We'll see how this goes.
Yikes. Legendary.
I mean, Ty just, like, honestly,
Gets it, bro.
we're going to talk about Tai Tuivasa a lot on this podcast. Like, that's something that's going to happen and should be in this podcast. But
I realized the walkout song is not for him. It's for us.
Exactly. And you know what? In a year like 2021 where everyone kind of just needed some positivity, Ty brought that to us. So I really appreciate that out of him. Yo, this is a banger.
All right, that's enough, bro. All right, that's the walkout of the year, apparently. But no, electric. I mean, Ty Tuivasa, nobody does it better. He knows how to get the crowd behind him. Like you said, we can make the whole category up Ty walkouts.
No doubt. Next category, Nilly, take this one.
What do we got? Oh, the Judges Not Necessary Judge of the Year. This is pretty much just the most useless guy here.
Yeah.
It's just someone who stays fucking up, either ref, judge, whatever the case may be. It's just, you're not necessary. And these are the nominees. We got Sal D'Amato. Everybody hates Sal D'Amato.
Reigning champion, Sal D'Amato. Our 2020 champion, Sal D'Amato.
Next, we got Bayachezlov Kiselev. This guy is famous for getting thrown out of the arena after, I don't even know what fight he was reffing, but it was the main event of Glover Teixeira.
No, it wasn't the main event, dude. This is like...
No, it was on the prelim.
No, but it was on the prelim, but that was the card. Sorry, I said the words wrong. It was the card of Jan Blachowicz and Glover Teixeira.
Correct.
It was on that card. And it was the prelims, and he got thrown out of the arena for being a horrible referee.
And he was scheduled to ref 2 more fights on the main card.
Italian dude who was like a Marine or something. It was Benoit Saint Denis versus...
The
hardest fucking name.
Benoit Saint Denis. That's exactly the fight that it was. And that guy was a fucking French, like, Green Beret or some shit. And so he, let it go on because this guy was, like, military tough. When in all reality, he should have saved him for another day. But I think he actually ended up winning that fight. But regardless, this guy got thrown out of the arena. And last but not least, we got Junochiro Camijo. Surely because it's so hard to pronounce his name, and he's just a judge, and I feel like he never gets it right.
Okay, that's fair. I kind of saw him on the list, Nil, and I was like, why him? It was just like, why not?
I was surprised there was no Herb after this year.
Herb Dean did have a bad year, but I don't think he needs to go because he helped grow the sport. Like, everyone, like, Herb Dean became, like, when you knew UFC, you knew, like, Herb Dean.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's past his prime and over the hills and needs to hang it up or, like, go to Bellator or, like, do something else. I don't think he's the gold standard anymore. I think that's just, like, a myth. And people, like, it's just like fighting. He's lost a step. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and trash him and be like, UFC got to cut him because it's like, nah, you helped grow this sport. Like,
and I
maybe only 3%, but still helped it.
Even though these people are wrong, there's still too many people in the world that if you ask them who's the best referee in the UFC, they'll still say Herb Dean.
So the only one they know. It's the only guy they know, fam.
Correct.
I think Herzog.
Who's the best?
But let's see who the winner is. It's got
fuck that. We need a Referee of the Year award. We didn't put that in here, did we? Let's discuss it right now.
It's Herzog.
It's Jason Herzog? Mark Smith? Mark Smith ain't bad.
We're getting off topic.
I like Chris Tayoni.
Who refs the most fights? I think Mark Smith refs the most fights.
Herb did the most fights.
And who was second?
That's a tough stat to know.
Who off the top of your head?
Most amount of fights.
Well, I figured if you knew the first, you knew the second.
All right, who won this thing? Or really lost, but won.
I mean, it's got to be Sal, right? No?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, he got
it's not Sal D'Amato. It's this referee, Bayachezlov Kiselev.
Wow.
Bro, he got bounced. He got thrown out of the arena. This man's got fired on the prelims. What do you mean he's not necessary? Get this man the fuck up out of here,
he
bro.
He kind of is the epitome of the award.
Pick the taxi and bounce, bro. He's the guy that's like, let me see what's in your bags from Fight Island. The guy was like fucking bungeeing down like 3 flights.
Honestly, Woodley could have been placed on this list.
Tyron That's a
true.
fair take.
I hate to say it. I mean, he got booted out of the UFC. He got booted out of the planet by Paul.
This is true.
His reputation
it.
forever tarnished.
I gotta say,
Forever tarnished.
I am absolutely shocked. I thought that Sal D'Amato was going to run a dynasty on this award. I thought he was going to get like a 5 years running. So to see him knocked off after his defending
because this was just so like ridiculous, and like he was a bootleg ass. He was a bootleg booth ref from the fucking UAE. Like, dude, this guy deserved it.
He boofed his rookie debut.
Literally
earned it.
He straight up earned this award. Facts.
You know what? I appreciate that. But talking about earning it, we got the upset of the year. This is a big category. You already know it. We got starting off with one that we actually talked about. Fluffy Anthony Hernandez versus Rodolfo Vieira. No one saw that one coming. Terrence McKinney over Matt Frevola. That's kind of where we saw T-Rex. It's kind of weird to say it now because he's more on the scene, but that was early in this year and really put him on the scene, you know.
That was like 5 seconds as well, but
he
came straight through, left hand from hell, straight down the pipe, sat him down.
And I'll be perfectly honest, I bet on Matt Frevola because he's a big Barstool guy. I like Matt Frevola. I thought he was a tough son of a bitch, and T-Rex taught me a lesson. Then we got Gerald Meershart versus Murdoch. That was a plus 400 or something. I thought that was a crazy line. I actually cashed in on this one, but that was a big upset. Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes. I mean, the upset of the year probably. And then finally, Benny Dariush over Tony Ferguson. The last time people
he was favored
Tony Ferguson. I was looking it up, and I thought I saw a plus 200. My research could have been wrong.
Yeah, he said I thought he was favored, and then
I just saw that one in there. I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He didn't win anyways. So let's go.
He didn't win anyways. The winner of the upset of the year is Juliana Pena over Amanda Nunes.
Ooh.
Of course, I mean, the biggest upset of the year, but I think the biggest lock for the award. I mean, no one.
How you can beat that? You just beat the GOAT for women's MMA, and nobody expected that shit except her. So,
yeah. And I got to say, on No Judges Necessary, I asked if anyone would take the bait of Juliana Pena, and I got to give a little credit to my boy sitting next to me, Knockout Nil. He actually said that he thought Juliana Pena had a shot. So he was the only one who slightly believed.
Bro, you guys talked me off the cliff because you were like, dude, she's 1-1 in her last couple fights, like da-da-da, this and that. But I honestly believed the hype of how she was talking, how she was going about it. She was not fucking scared of Amanda Nunes. And I was shocked at how she did it, but I wasn't necessarily shocked that it happened in general. But like
all my parlays lost.
That meme of like the 8 straight jabs just back and forth, like that'll live on forever. I mean,
yeah,
how could you not? Classic upset of the year.
Unreal.
I think we're moving a little too fast, no?
I don't know.
No, I mean, we still have like 10 left.
Yeah, we're 30 minutes in. All right. Well, at that halfway point,
let's get a fucking clip. I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. Like, come on.
What do you want?
Amanda Nunes, the fucking Juliana Pena. Let me see this shit again, fam.
I don't want to relive this.
You don't want to relive this?
No, I could have won like $300. That was the last leg. Are we pulling it up or what? Okay.
Yep. There we go.
I love how we're just getting random angles from the crowd. This is great.
Yeah, that's what I can find on YouTube. But honestly, this is actually a pretty decent video.
It's the best video yet. You just
it's the best video yet. Oh God.
It's so crazy to just how we've seen Amanda Nunes just strike fear in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I believed when Juliana Pena was like, I'm not scared. Like, for the first time, somebody was like, I'm not scared, and I truly like felt it. I don't know.
Right.
It was just so trippy.
Because we just all told her that that's a terrible idea to not be scared. But apparently it wasn't. Jeez, she just stood in the pocket with her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy,
Like, just
too,
like, I'm going to eat some shots and roll and move and make you, gas out a little bit and fucking
and
fire
we've
back.
seen
And it's not
people
going to be
try
the
this
craziest.
strategy against Nunes before. And then the second they stand in the pocket and they trade, once Nunes lands, the fight changes. And somehow it didn't change here.
Well, I mean, that first round, it looked like it was just the same old thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I always wanted that, though. Like, at some point, Nunes is just going out there and starching people and damn near playing with the food because, like, they're running away from her in some ways. And so it's like when someone finally does bite down on the mouthpiece and fire back and just in your face, does that change everything?
Right.
Now, I think if they run it back, I mean, you'd have to think that
Damn,
Nunes
from this
is gonna-
angle, you can really see, you can physically see Amanda Nunes gassing. Like,
Yeah.
in a way we've never seen before.
And I also think it was smart for Pena to piss her off and be like, oh, I'm going to show you. And she came out and threw everything she had in these punches. And, like, yeah, some of them laying clean, but not all of them because she was still there. It's just the fashion it was done. Here
Bro,
comes
this is the first
jab
Oh,
sequence.
here it comes.
No, maybe not.
Ooh, those combos. And she always followed it up with another jab. Like, there was always that third punch.
Oh, a lot of jab in my opinion. It's the knee. Soon to be the takedown.
Yep.
I mean, Ben Askren said it. Do you lose GOAT status for getting a rear naked choke with that hooks in?
Real talk.
Like, shit.
Especially from that. You see it from that angle right there. I mean.
Yeah. Like, it didn't even.
No, that just seemed like.
Like, I know some
I'm
people
done
that ain't
here.
even
I
into
don't wanna
MMA
fight
like that. Like, how did that choke even do anything?
Right. That seemed
And I
a
was
little
like, yo,
bit
it's
more
just
of
pressure.
just like, I'm done. Like, you got me. And I always wonder, too, because I always see it sometimes in, like, fighters who come up in, like, the jiu-jitsu world or kickboxing or sports where the multiple fights and, taking a loss, like, happens, like, even the best of the best. So I wonder if it was just a point of, like, hey, tonight's not my night. But tonight was Juliana Pena's night. She wins upset of the year.
For sure.
Congratulations. Let's get into the next category. You got anything else?
No, I got you. Next category, we got Coach of the Year. First nominee is Eugene Behrman,
And
head coach of City Kickboxing. Always going to be in big fights. He's built his team up to where it is. They're always going to be on a big platform. Wasn't the best year for him per se, but still another solid showing.
Hot take. What he's transformed Kai Kara France into in 2021 was his most impressive performance this year. Everyone focuses on him with Volkanovsky, him with Izzy. I think what he's done with Kai Kara France and molded him into is very impressive.
Next on the list, we got the James Krauss, head coach of Glory MMA. He's bursted on the scene, especially you don't see guys in their prime coaching as a head coach to like multiple other fighters. And to see it is awesome. And to also see it at the Contender Series level where it seems like the UFC just trusts him to bring in a guy and fight on the Contender Series. So I think for all that, he deserves some shine here, and he's on the list. Next, we got Khabib Nurmagomedov. I think he's made a transition now into coaching. I mean, he definitely has. He's been in the corner a lot, and I think he's done a fantastic job. I think he's pretty much a replica of his father in a way to a lot of these Dagestani fighters, and I think it's going to do wonders. Next on the list, we got Mr. Trevor Whitman, head coach of, Justin Gaethje, Kumar Usman, Bros Namajunas. Those are the only three, and he's a lead at it. Second to last on the list. I'm going to add somebody else here. We got Eric Negsick.
A new addition to the list.
Eric Negsick was on the list. He's the head coach of Extreme Couture in Las Vegas. And this guy is sort of like James Krauss in a way, where the Contender Series is just constantly hitting him up for people, and he always just has a stable of athletes. And at his gym, they probably have 50, 60 athletes in mind. So, and the last on the list is going to be Fernand Lopez of the MMA Factory.
Oh, okay. Out in Paris?
Out in Paris.
Yes. All right, a late addition to the nominees, but I don't think he will be the winner.
No, the winner here is Trevor Whitman.
We have to give it to Trevor Whitman. I mean, he pulled the trifecta.
Yeah,
exactly.
Trifecta on one night.
I think I got a clip that will kind of explain what we want to talk about here. Just listen in.
You're a champion because you jab. It's because you jab, baby.
It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Sometimes coaching doesn't have to be this insanity. Obviously Trevor Whitman does so much work behind the scenes that creates these top level fighters into this, where Kamaru Usman was just a wrestler, right? Then he met Trevor Whitman. Now we got this. But he just has found the secret sauce with these top level fighters to take them to another fucking stratosphere. I mean, there's not much more I can say.
Let me get that lit. Yeah, it's super impressive. I mean, what I admire about this guy is he's like, you know what? I'm gonna pick my athletes and do it right. Sometimes I think it's quality over quantity. Like, who cares if you can train 80 guys? That's you're just screaming loud in a room, I feel like. But if you can really get the best out of like 3 or 4 people, that puts you at an elite status that I'm about.
Right.
So that to me puts them on an upper echelon of coaches. Some of these like coaches at ATT, it's like, bro, you coached like 65 guys. It's so hard for me to judge.
Yeah, your record's 87 and 43 on the year.
Like Mike Brown.
Good?
Like Mike Brown from ATT. How many guys does he coach? And it's just like, it's hard to get a read on that. And so even though he may be he'll be an honorable mention here, but even though he may be in discussion somewhere, it's hard to equate. And Trevor Whitman, that 3 for 3 in one night, was it?
Yeah. That was one night, right?
Well, not only that, I think all of his fighters went undefeated this year.
Yeah. Gaethje didn't lose. Rose didn't lose. Usman sure as hell didn't lose.
That makes it even crazier.
Yeah. He didn't lose.
Yeah. I mean, again,
he
picked his spots. He only works with the fighters that he works with, but what he does, you cannot argue with.
Fernand Lopez went 8-1 out of the MMA Factory.
Really?
8-1.
Wow.
With like 7 finishes or like 6 finishes.
Interesting.
Like low key.
I could see that coming up later. But let's get into our next category here. Who wants to take it?
Oh, sheesh. Gym of the year?
Gym of the
year. We got first ATT, American Top Team. Always got to be in it. I feel like they supply like half the UFC. So it's like every year they're going to be in the discussion. It's just how many belts do they have and how many times have they defended it? Otherwise, like you're kind of out.
Right.
Next, we got Team Elevation. They've been killing it in Denver with these like Curtis Blades and Corey Sandhagens of the world.
Big year for Sandhagen for sure.
Peter Yan used to train out there, but
yeah, and they're kind of a gym that I've always respected where there's some real staples there, but a lot of I kind of like a gym that's open to take in some fighters for like some camps. You know, Dan Hooker's been up there before, Neil Magny's been up there. Like, there's been a lot of people who have come in, and I don't think there's been a single person who's gone into elevation that's come out a worse fighter. So definitely like them there. Who else we got?
Next on the list, we got the MMA Factory in Paris. Cyril Gane went 3-0, 3 finishes. Nasruddin Imavov 2-1, 2 finishes. And Manion Figueroa 3-0, 2 finishes. So
she's a badass. I think she might be on this show next year.
I could see it, but yeah. I don't know if she trains there full time, but I know she's done stints there, and I saw Fernand Lopez in the corner once, so that's enough for me.
Fair. Who else we got?
Next on the list, we got Extreme Couture. Extreme Couture out of Las Vegas. Talked about them earlier under Eric Negsick. They're just a mega gym. They got a lot of athletes, a lot of bodies.
This is also just a year that played perfectly for them. Like, you know, as bad as it is for, you know, the COVID circumstances, at least we got off a lot of fights, and they thankfully opened their doors to a lot of fighters and really created a lot of opportunities for fighters and saved a lot of fights. So big shout out to them.
Next, we got Onyx Sports. Just talked about it. Trevor Whitman. That's the crew. And last but not least, we got AKA out in San Jose. Not the greatest, but just the Khabib influence. Yeah, they certainly are at least, but you got to throw them on there. Khabib's back. There's an influence there.
Islam's been training out of there. Like, they still have a footprint on the UFC, and still deserve to be mentioned. And I don't want Khabib to be mad at us. So,
but dig. The winner is the MMA Factory in Paris.
I think Sanford MMA should be on here.
Oh wow. Yeah. Sanford MMA should be on here. We're high.
We big fucked that up. I'm sorry. Sanford MMA should.
We've interviewed like 3 fighters from Sanford MMA.
Correct.
Like, we're high.
Vincente Luque.
We're tripping, dude. And I knew we were tripping. This is why I was like, yo, name me some gyms. Like, we need gyms. And I just.
Yeah, you know what? Like, let's peel back the
5 already. So I was like, all right, you guys.
Yeah, let's peel back the curtain a little bit. We were doing our research earlier. We were setting everything up. And Neil was like, we're forgetting a gym. And just
that was it.
Whatever fucking reason.
I was like, dude, we're forgetting like a mega gym, fam.
It was Sanford.
Yeah.
But
they
definitely give some love to Sanford, but we can't bury the lead on that. Congratulations to MMA Factory in Paris. No, give the full case for them.
To me, I feel like
with MMA Factory, before No gets into it, you got to credit a little bit of Ngannou to them. A little bit.
100%.
Correct. Ngannou put them on the map, and then now we're starting to see people. But what really got me is the fact that, again, it's the quality over quantity, and it's where these fighters did it. Manion Figueroa came in, everyone was like, yo, what's good? And she handled business. Cyril Gane, 3 big-time fights in the heavyweight division and won the interim belt, and it's the way he beat Derek Lewis. And then Nasruddin Imavov, still improving. The Russian sniper looks legit as fuck. 2 finishes, was 2-1, sure. But I just feel like how these people have improved this year in this gym, to me, it was gym of the year. And honestly, I see improvement a lot. Like, sometimes when you have mega gyms, it's hard to improve. And we just see a run of 2 wins, 2 losses, this, that. These people seem like they're getting better every fight. And this is why it's gym of the year for me.
Yeah, and that's what I really want to give them credit for, because part of me, you know, when Ngannou put them on the map, and everyone knows the Ngannou scene, or, you know, his story, kind of, you know, just sort of walked into the gym. And I was like, is this a good gym, or is it a gym that got lucky that Francis Ngannou walked through the front door and then they pointed him in the right direction? But
it's both.
They proved this year in 2021 that they have some serious coaching and they can seriously do some damage in the MMA world. So I love that
The
they're
coach
getting the
came out
recognition.
today, Fernand Lopez, and said that when Cyril and Francis fought, Cyril kneed him in the liver, and Francis had to sit down for a minute. And that's like that famous sparring video that's been going around. He's saying that was the result of that shit. What?
Francis's reaction, he was laughing at it. He said they made the video seem like I was losing, but we all know what happened in those sparring sessions. And I'm like, I can't wait for this fight.
Yeah, facts. Great fight.
Yeah, I think that is kind of a problem with just like modern MMA is it's like we go off this like 2020 Twitter videos and we see 10-second of a clip in sparring, and I don't take those for anything because I'm like, if they've trained together, there's been 100 of those. There's been 1,000 of those.
They're going so slow, like they weren't even throwing as hard.
And honestly, if you don't get beat in training, shout out Sanford MMA and our boy Troy Worthen. We were talking about this, and our boy Marcus.
He's fighting next week, bro. Shout out Troy.
Hell yeah! And also Marcus Buchecha, who we had on the pod. They both talked about it. If you're not losing in training, if you're not getting beat up in training, you don't have good enough training partners. You're not training correctly. So if you're just seeing these like hype videos of random people who are just doing work in training, you know who does work in training? Dylan Dennis. That's who does work in training. So I take nothing into those sparring videos.
Well, shit. Let's get on to the next. Read them off. I got to take a piss, but read them off.
Talk about some videos that we do want to watch. The celebration of the year, post-fight celebrations. I mean, just electric season. We needed some good vibes, and there is no better feeling.
Hold up. This is essentially like electricness of the year.
Yeah, pretty much the electric.
Who was the most electric at some point? Celebration. Could even be in a loss, how you're like, fuck it, like, I won that fight. Fuck you, I'm the winner. Like, that might be celebration of the year.
Just moment after a fight of the year.
Correct.
So, nominees. We're going to start out with our Phoenix guy. He did this while the Suns were in the playoffs. The O'Malley, he hit him with the crossover. He hit him with the step back. The O'Malley step back. Gotta love that.
That's just dope now, though.
Oh, yeah.
He's made it a thing. Can we pull one up?
I think we can get an O'Malley
Like, I just
step
like
back.
that's like his thing now, you know? That's what he gonna do. Like, it's almost like WWE in a sense. You gotta have your finishing move, bro. You gotta have, like, the 5-knuckle shuffle or, like, you know? Something like the fucking choke slam. Like, you gotta have your thing, bro. And I kind of like that this is like, yo, I'm gonna hit him with the step back. Like,
Let me see if I can find it. It's against
Almeida,
Almeida, right?
Step back.
Let me see if I can find this.
Yeah, it's the end of the fight when he KOs him.
Right.
It's the,
Hey,
That's just-
I'll say
that's
this
just-
right now.
yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah,
That's
there
just
we go.
clean.
Shout
That's
him
just
out
it.
in
Let me-
basketball.
Celebration
No
of the
worries.
year, the O'Malley step back, bro.
Well, that's one
fire.
of them. That's just a nominee. But we got the O'Malley step back. You hit the crossover on him. Got to give some credit there. Next nominee.
I said it, and I'll say it again. I will smoke Sean O'Malley. I'll roll him up in some basketball.
I can.
Wait, in basketball or fighting?
Not fighting. He'll whoop my ass. I'm saying in
Okay.
basketball.
Oh, that I believe.
Sport. That's my sport. I promise.
Oh, when you said
Oh, I know.
that you were trying to smoke him, I thought you were saying you were trying to smoke him up. Like, I will smoke up Sean O'Malley anytime he wants. That's all I'm going to give it to him.
I can't smoke, right? But basketball, I'm a cold, cold killer, man.
I'm down for a no judges one-on-one match.
Hey, Sean O'Malley's
Hey.
listening.
We local. I don't hate that. Next nominee, we got Jordan Levitt, a late nominee in the end of the year. He hit the split that every guy just did not see coming, and it hurt to watch, so we're not going to watch that one. But next one up, we do have one that we do want to watch. Patty the Batty making another appearance.
Is this a celebration
So
or?
who would the man like to challenge then next?
Anyone who wants it. I'm not really calling anyone out. The only thing I want to call out the company, Instagram. Give me my account back, you lizards.
You lizards.
The man's arrived.
So who would
Love it. I mean, it's like we talked about, celebration, electric moment of the year. Great nominee. Another nominee we got that I don't think we can actually find on YouTube, but we have to put it as a nominee. Cheyenne Vismas. Bitch, I'll follow you home. I mean,
All-time line for the
against
year.
Montserrat Ruiz.
After
Is
the
that a
fight,
celebration? Did she win?
No,
I don't know. It's not. We said this while you were gone. It's not necessarily celebration of the year. It's more just like the most electric moment or the most crazy, stupid, random shit. Like even after the fight, if you said I won that shit, fuck you. Like that could be up there. But she said literally right after the fight, bitch, and we'll follow you home. And it's electric. I mean,
yeah, that was rough. But
it's a great
the
tag.
last nominee, and not to bury the lead, but your winner, again, Tai Tuivasa and the Shoey.
with the shoey, bro.
Gotta love it.
Again, it's become a WWE move. It's his finisher, bro. He hits him with the shoey, bro.
What, the whole fight?
It's not very long. He's got a knockout and a shoey in under a minute and 5 YouTube video.
I mean, you could have just showed the iconic photo, his Jordan moment. Like,
No,
He
run
needs
it,
his own-
let it roll. He
no,
might
definitely
piece him,
let it
bro.
roll. It's already running.
We want to give the good people a shitty video from the balcony.
Let's go. Shoey time, baby.
There it is.
Bam.
Let's
Man
see
hit
it.
him with the shoey, dude. Disgusting, but lit celebration.
It's always a new shoe. It's the Nelk boys throwing him a shoe that they're probably brand spanking new.
Yeah, they probably like bring a shoe specific for that. Like they don't
No, they
Yeah.
show his foot. They showed Nelk's foot, and it's like he has a sock on.
Okay, but he's probably only worn those tonight, so that's
Yeah.
not that bad. And I mean, let's be real, the shoeies that he's taken. But gotta love our guy Ty. I will shout him out. I tried to give Ty basically every award. Nil and Matty P had to stop me at some point.
Oh, like you
But
wouldn't have given Patty an award. Come on.
that's very true.
Yeah.
I was trying to split them,
you
but
were trying to give away half the awards. What's next?
the next award is an award that Tai Tuivasa or Patty Pimblett will never win. The Bruno Silva of the Year award.
Let's go.
So we have multiple nominees for this. This was a problem across the entire podcast, the entire year. Bruno Silva's just kept showing up out of nowhere, and we had no idea who it was. And we have to be honest here. We were really high on Bulldog at first, and we were down on Blundado. And unfortunately, we were wrong at first, because your winner of the year is Bruno Blundado Silva. 3-0, 3 finishes. He lost us money twice because we thought it was the wrong Bruno Silva the first 2 fights of the year. And then the last one, we all cashed in. So, congratulations to our now good friend, Bruno Blundado Silva.
I'm just betting on any Bruno Silva now. They're all getting the love.
And if there's another Bruno, he'll be in the air or something close.
Yeah, that'll be interesting if we can
No,
get
he
a
has
Bruno.
to work his way in. No, just like Blundado did, he's gonna have to work his way up. We're gonna dislike him at first, and by the end, if he gets us 3 in a row, we'll start liking him.
That's fair. That's fair.
What about if a Brad gets around? Is he somehow like Bruno?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
he's
Do
got to
we
have
like this?
Bruno vibes.
Yeah, he's got a Bruno vibes, big Bruno
Like,
vibes.
If this was 5 years ago, I could see Cowboy Oliveira being a Bruno. Possibly. Depends on the year.
All
We'll
right.
see next year.
But you know what I'm trying to say? There's not enough Brunos to go around. Like, they're not going to be here forever. So the Bruno of the year is going to stay. You just got to find someone.
That's true. That's
All right.
true. Next category. P, you want to take this one? You've been hot on Twitter on these streets.
Yeah, let's see what's going down over here. The Social Media Award. This, when I wrote it, I was actually thinking of fighters, but we actually ended up doing that too. So this one is just social media accounts that represent Twitter community. First
This is
on
the
list-
MMA Twitter award, basically.
Yeah, very important. And none of us are in here.
No.
Nah, because we not like that. We just have
And we suck. And we kind of suck on Twitter. But
Yeah,
we got Mac Malley MMA, a great account. And follow all these accounts. They're great.
Yeah,
I am
honestly.
yeah, they're amazing. You got to follow all of them if you really even want to be a part of MMA Twitter at this point.
No doubt.
Second, I am Anto MMA. Another great call. Third, at McGregor Rousey.
I mean,
Controversial.
super fans been controversial this year. A tough year for him, but I think he still makes the cut.
Yeah, he's very into ratioing people now.
But he's really fucking good at it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, elite.
Next, our boy came on the show. The Bane MMA. Great account. Great guy.
He wanted to be here tonight. He's unfortunately working a shift at Harkins. But shout out to Baines.
It is what it
You would
is.
have been here?
Oh, yeah.
Finally, the dick sucking champ at Booger Beard.
Yo, speaking of Booger Beard, did you see the stuff with Billy Q and Patty Pimblett? I'm going to try to insert Patty as many times as I can into the show. But did you see the thing with Booger Beard, Patty Pimblett, and Billy Q today?
No.
So basically, Billy Q got on the old Twitter box, and he was talking about, like, hey, I'm not trying to be a hater, but, like, Patty Pimblett has one fight. Let's kind of chill out. And Booger Beard responded and was like, oh, is that what we're doing now? And then he responds, yeah, I'm out here having to get jerked off by Booger Beard, and Patty Pimblett's only had one fight. So that was elite. But
All right. Well, let me announce the winner. Let me announce our winner here. My personal favorite, Mac Malley MMA.
he's close to GOAT status at this point. He's
Hey, and let
getting
me
at
give
the
a
top.
mention to. Let me give one mention. Fucking off Mac Malley over here.
An honorable mention.
An honorable mention. The best memes I feel in the entire space. Hectic one.
Hectic one, yes, a newer comer on the game.
Best
Not as
meme-
well known across some of these
Not as well known.
accounts.
He's been there a while, but he has the best memes out. I'm telling you. But Mac Malley's got great takes. He's so involved. He goes to the shows. He's got to win it.
Yeah, he put in the work this year. All the credit to Mac Malley.
And he makes bomb-ass food while he's watching the fights. And I don't understand how he does it. I'm like, bro, I can barely even get a drink from the fridge. And you're out here making a full rack of ribs that are falling off the bone. What's happening here?
And let's be perfectly honest, if I am going to say, I had a little bias in my voting. When I found out this year during the playoff run that he's also a Red Sox fan, and me and Mac Malley just started becoming like baseball friends like during the playoffs, that was a lot of fun. So I don't know if that influenced the vote, but it probably did. And then let's switch it over to what Matty P thought this category initially was, the Twitter Fighter of the Year. These are the guys who have been interacting with all of us scrubs and idiots on Twitter, but I think they're better for it. Maybe. Probably not. The first two nominees, they fought each other and probably had the best Twitter war of the year. Adrian Yanez and Randy Costa. Got to put them both on there. They both earned it. The Dr. Pepper versus Reese war was an electric part of 2021. Got to give him the credit. The next nominee, I want Nil to actually describe this nominee. Julian Marquez.
Marquez?
Tell his story.
Yeah, Julian Marquez definitely got to be on here because he fumbled the bag with Miley Cyrus. He just fucked it up. And, like, I don't know. He was just – this is like social media award. Like, he fucked it up, and that's why he's on here. It's literally
that's
no more simple than that. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's so funny because it was like everyone was like, you're so dumb for trying it. Then it worked. Then he fumbled the bag. And that's where it's just unacceptable out of him. But at least got him on the nominees. Next nominee, Call Bully B, is Bilal Muhammad. I mean, if anyone sprained an ankle, got COVID,
he had
just
a
tripped up on Twitter.
He was getting.
Is your connection good there, P?
Mine's fine. You guys seem like you're breaking up a little bit.
no way.
All right. I think we're back.
You guys are good now. You guys are good now.
Cool. But yeah, like we were saying, Bully B, anything happened, literally anything happened in the MMA world, and Bully B was there on Twitter. So
It was
got to give him his
made
credit.
Twitter turn their back on Bully B. It was like blame Bully B. Anything happened, Bully B's fault.
That was a weird part of the year.
Yeah, and
And
now he fought his way through Twitter.
Yeah, that's why I think he stays on this category, but I think that might be why he didn't win it this year. Last nominee, just because I'm trying to slip him in as much as I can, Patty Pimblett. Just because
Oh my God.
those goddamn lizards over at Twitter
More Patty Pimblett
fucking
shit.
blocked his first account. He had to get a new account. Go follow the UFC Batty. That's his new account. He's not back to his following. We need to get Patty the Batty out.
Brick is
But I'll
getting
shut the
paid by
fuck up.
Patty the Batty.
Yeah, real talk. What are you getting paid on the
Yeah,
side
you better
gas
show some of
man?
that Patty money.
Real shit. You better invest in the pod.
I mean,
Hey, wait, can I give one shout?
go for it.
Blonde Brunson came through on Twitter this year a lot too. He may not win, but
Yeah,
Blonde Brunson,
Yeah.
he had
No,
some good.
the garage,
He's
the
not
fucking
as
shopping
active,
groceries
but
memes,
when he
the
shows up,
grocery carrying memes, them shits were great. Them shits were great.
I completely agree.
And he's big on TikTok now. Like, yeah, for sure. Blonde
Yeah.
Brunson.
He doesn't
Yeah.
show up as often as some of these other people, but when he shows up, he shows up. Nilly, give us our winner.
I don't know who the winner is.
All right.
Adrian,
Like,
Winner is Adrian Yanez. I mean, he won the Twitter fight of the year.
you win that, and he was beloved by Twitter. Nobody dislikes him.
yep.
He
And
did
he's
his
hella
thing.
involved.
He is popular because of Twitter and obviously his crazy ass hands. But Twitter, lots of people have hands and nobody knows about them. Twitter and him just meshed. That is perfect. He's got to win it.
A lot of people have hands, but not everybody knows about them. That's a fucking t-shirt.
Yeah, I was like, put that on a fucking
That's a
shirt.
t-shirt, blood.
I was literally gonna say.
That's our next t-shirt, bro. Literally. Everybody's got hands, but not everybody knows about them. That's
Right.
fucking
A lot of guys
fire.
got hands, but not everyone knows.
Yeah.
I love that. Speaking about hands, or maybe taking them hands, our next category, Shin of the Year. These guys are some tough son of a bitches. These guys are guys that would never be knocked out by any three of the people on this podcast. These are guys who have gone to hell and back for our entertainment. Shin of the Year. P, you want to give it to us?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I already know one of them's got to be Nate Diaz. Or you said we have the Diaz brothers because you like to include them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Diaz
Nate
brothers.
carried the water probably this year.
That's going to halt Nate because Nick kind of folded a
True.
little bit.
But they're going to be on this list for life, pretty much.
Pretty much.
It's basically the Diaz Award.
Yeah. That we can bring that to the committee. We can definitely be the Diaz
All right,
Chin
so-
of the Year award.
Yeah, the Diaz Chin of the Year.
Diaz brothers, Calvin Kattar for taking an absolute fucking beating from Max and still staying alive, which I don't even know how the hell is possible.
We talked about those stats. Those landed on Cal's chin, and somehow he's living. And
Did he
fighting.
get dropped in that fight?
Not
He definitely
really.
did. I think
Like-
he fought against the
But
cage.
like once or twice. No, it wasn't more.
It
than
wasn't
four.
like, on his back and then immediate ground and pound. It was like, stumble back to the cage and then for some sick reason
I don't
going
know.
for more.
And then
Because
also the
You
person who
almost can't
delivered
fall
them-
down to get 744 strikes thrown at your head.
Feel it.
And then the person who delivered them, Max Holloway, is on this list. He ate a lot of shots from Calvin himself, and he ate a shit ton of shots from Yair. Crazy shots that could put out a large mammal.
Correct.
Next, the fucking truck of a man himself is Justin Gaethje, who ate a bunch of shots from Chandler, wobbled, stayed the hell up. And finally, our winner, that crazy green-haired son of a bitch who ate 3 rounds from O'Malley, Chris Moutinho.
Let's go. Congratulations, Chris Moutinho. You earned every single bit of this award. This kid came into the UFC on 6 days' notice against Sean O'Malley, who probably has some of the best boxing in the goddamn game, and took 15 minutes of absolute ass kicking.
And
And
they
he could have
called
gone the bell if the ref
They
wasn't
called
an
that
idiot.
fight and waved it off, but he could have gone, and I bet he could have gone.
100%. If you
100%.
let it go that far, you can't then say all of a sudden with a minute and a half left to go, it's done. The damage is already there.
Yeah, if you're
What
going to
he's
call
gonna
it
take
for
in
that,
final
call it in
90
the second
seconds
round.
Isn't gonna do shit. He should have continued that to the final. And yeah, that to me is why it's 100% the chin of the year. Can we get some clips on this? I mean, he was getting lit up. Yo, Jamie over here.
Let me get
The
it
whole
up.
fight break, not the whole fight.
Yeah, not the whole fight break. We just want
Let me
Chris
see what I can
Moutinho,
get.
Sean O'Malley highlights. Not him on the Pat McAfee show. Him getting lit up.
I think I got it here. Oh, Jesus.
Oh no.
We'll get a taste here.
Yeah, bro. He was getting lit the fuck up.
But dude,
And
this
I'm-
guy didn't take a
And
fucking
he just
step
kept-
back.
Yeah, he kept coming back for more, bro. That's why and you gotta respect it. Now we're seeing grappling.
Next clip is not grappling.
That's
Very
a
much
right-
not
That was
grappling.
a right hit to the temple.
He ended up
dog.
looking like the guy from the Goonies, the "Hey you guys" by the end of this motherfucking thing.
Damn. Saying this dude needs a baby Ruth by the end of this fight. But for some fucked up reason, he just never took a step back.
Nah,
That's how you gotta fight O'Malley, man. You can't let him stay in his range.
correct. You
Yeah,
gotta get
that's the
this
only
shit.
way
You
you're
can't let
gonna
him
win
do
Chin of
that.
the Year.
You can't let him spin. Get his kicks off.
Jesus.
See that quick to the fucking outside calf, then bam,
You know what?
right as it hits the
Green
ground,
hair- I
back to
should
the
have
head.
known. But the green hair disguised that he has a mullet, and I should have known off the mullet.
You know what? You're right. I never noticed it. That is a certified mullet.
Yeah, and I would have known he had a chin if I saw the mullet, but the green hair just disguised it.
Right. Yeah, there's even the shaved sides in there. You're goddamn right on that.
Wow. New discovery.
You should have known it.
He's
Oh,
mullet
next
tough.
year we're doing mullet of the year.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a big miss on the categories. Yep. No, write that down.
What's another one?
Oh, we had with mullets.
Now, what's another one we talked about one earlier?
Miss category.
Ref of the year.
Oh, yeah, ref of the year. But he fought back in this shit. Like, big ups to Chris Moutinho, honestly.
Yeah, for real, dude. This
All
was
right,
a
let me get
scrap,
on to this
bro.
next one. This is my category. I'll announce this one.
All right.
The nut shot of the year. I could only think of 3, and looking up these things was the hardest thing you could think of. But first, and probably least, Andrew Sanchez versus Bruno Silva. Don't ask me who's Bruno Silva. I don't remember. But Sanchez hit Bruno twice. I think it is our new boy, Bruno Silva. He hit him with a knee, and then like 10, 20 seconds after did a spinning kick right to the nuts. And he was like, bro, and he came back and won that fight. So I had to give him the shout out. 2 hits in a row like that, came back and win. Solid. Second, an unsuspected victim. Dan Murgliata getting hit in the nuts by Charles Oliveira's belt when they gave it to him, and it slung down and hit him right in the nuts.
That was
Hilarious.
tough.
Couldn't see it coming. Oh, we're pulling that one up?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, and then
Didn't
our
want to
winner,
bury the lead.
spoiler.
Continue. Continue.
Our spoiler on the, I think it was the Contender Series. These guys, unfortunately, hit each other in the nuts at the perfect time each. Jonas Bilharino versus
Villarino.
versus Kanan Kawai. Holy shit. Dude,
I don't
that's
know.
why-
Basically, his last name sounds like the sound of a nut shot. Like, kawaii! Like, kawaii!
Basically.
All right, well, let's
But-
see it. You got it?
2 guys to watch out for because they will hit you in the
Let's
nuts.
see the double nut shot.
Let's see it. Oh,
Both guys. Oh
All right, we'll
my
throw that
god.
back.
They're both
All
locked
right,
over.
men, look away. Oh, I
And
love
both
how
knees.
immediately, like, no one cares about fighting. No one cares about grappling. Like, there's no, like you're in a cage fight. Like, I feel like dudes get knocked out. Dudes get, like, you know what I mean? But, like, that
But
just
people-
immediately drops both of them. Just like, nope, we're not fighting anymore. This is not fun. Yikes.
Hell yeah. The real but winners.
Yeah, the winners are us in that category. I don't think anyone else will.
And our next 3 are probably the most important 3.
Yeah, now we're getting a little serious here. The best UFC card of the year. An absolutely stacked division. I mean, there was some bangers this year. We got a lot of very good pay-per-views. I got to say, in a year that had some questionable fans, questionable venues, a lot of pay-per-views really delivered.
We were blessed this year, man.
Well, because pay-per-views had live fans back at the building, and they completely changes that whole atmosphere of everything. And like the UFC teased us with not giving us every single card as like a sold-out venue, and they're not traveling the world like they were. So the fact that it's like, yo, pay-per-view, like sold out shit, like let's get this month, like it just made it that much more of what it was.
And that's right where we'll start with the nominees. You have to put it on there. The first fight with fans back live. We were in attendance.
Yeah.
UFC 261, Usman versus Masvidal 2 in Jacksonville, Florida.
Weili versus Rose Namajunas the first time. Chris Weidman injury, snaps his leg against Uriah Hall. Jimmy Crute fucked up injury. He was ready to go second round against Anthony Smith. Ref was like, nah, fuck that noise. Yeah, there's just a lot of action. And that's why it's on here.
No
Next,
doubt.
we had Adesanya versus Vettori 2, which to me, I don't know why this is on here. There was 14 fights, or there was 15 fights and 14 decisions. So I'm not sure how this made the list. Usman Covington 2, yes, you got to put that on there. Rose Weili 2 was on that card. Also, Mike Chandler Gaethje, which we'll talk about later. Oliveira Poirier, solid card. I don't remember who was the co-line on that one, but sure.
Nunez Pena.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
yeah,
Nunez
Nunez
Pena.
Pena. Holy fuck! Wow, I'm blasted.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, UFC Fight Night. Stephen Thompson versus Jeff Neal. There was like 13 fights, 11 finishes, crazy kicks. We saw Tafa with the head kick knockout. So a lot of action there. But winner for card of the year is UFC 261 Usman Masvidal 2. And it's not just because we were live. It's because it was the first fight back. It's because Chris Weidman broke his leg. It's the shock factor that Masvidal got knocked out in his home state. Are you shocked on this?
Yeah, I would have went MSG, man. I really would have. Or that Fight Island that I don't even think we put in here, but that Fight Island where we saw Peter Yan versus Sandhagen and
Ooh, that's a big miss.
Who the hell else was on that card? That card was fucking insane. I thought that was one of them. I don't know if
was that Gaethje Chandler or no? That was
right before it, I think.
No, that was that.
No,
that was at fucking MSG. Usman
the Abu Dhabi.
That was the first fight. Oh, the Abu Dhabi one was Glover and Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah, Glover, Jan, and that was
it was
Peter Yan.
Yep.
That was a good fucking card.
I'll take the hit on that one.
Islam versus Hooker.
I remember I was at an ASU football game during that one. So when I was putting this category together,
Hamzat
I missed
Lee hella crazily right away. And Kalaev and Volkan.
Yep. That we boofed that one, but that's on there.
But I gotta say,
but something about the first crowd
not
back, bro. It's first crowd back though. I feel like that shit made waves. I feel like everything I was watching, people was like, "Yo, did you see that UFC event?" People at my work who didn't even know fights asked me if I watched it. I was like, I was at it. Like,
right?
The fuck, like it was just the first one back. Like, I don't know.
The energy coming into the stadium.
I sense some bias here because I wasn't at that, so I sense a little bias.
Really,
100%. I mean,
it is biased, but whatever.
No,
it's card.
I think this was probably runner-up to the MSG just because of we had who was our knockout of the year? That was on it. Billy Q versus Shane Burgos.
That's true.
Gaethje Chandler, Usman Covington,
Cheeto Edgar.
But yeah. I see, they were neck and neck. These two are neck and neck. So
let me look up UFC 261.
Definitely, but honestly, I think what tipped the scales, which definitely biased, but one of the craziest moments of my life was that Usman knockout because it was about me and 6 people in the stands rooting for Usman. Everyone,
there was nothing but finishes on the main card.
I did not
injury or not. There was 5 finishes on the main card.
2 of the finishes were leg injury.
True, but there was 5 finishes on the main card, bro. That shit got you entertained, fam. That was a fucking entertaining ass card.
And the crowd going nuts for Rose.
And takedowns.
And we were definitely there. I get the bias in that. But something about the energy of Rose winning and the entire crowd loving that. We breaking up again?
Well, now, but he's breaking up again. I don't know what's good, but we out here. We trying to fix it. But yeah, card of the year, debated if you're not. I don't give a fuck if I was there. There was 3 title belts on the line. That's one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. It was the fight with the first fans back. I would have said it regardless or not. The first indoor sold-out arena, Dana White status, you had to give it to her. There's no way around it. And it doesn't matter if I was there or not. I would have said it regardless.
I agree. Do we want to get into the next category before?
What do we got? Realist in the room. What's next?
The next category we have the male fighter of the year.
Male fighter of the year. Hold on.
Massive category, obviously. We had some big nominations.
Yeah, we got some big nominations. First, we got Brandon Moreno. I mean, let's talk about it. Man's became the champion. Is what it be. Did his thing. What was so impressive is how he came off a draw to Davison Figueiredo the first time, and then it seemed like the second time he fought him, it was like, who the heck is this chump? I mean, he made people go on Twitter, and I know that this might sound like a stupid take, but he really made people go on Twitter from thinking Davison Figueiredo was one of the greatest 125ers of all time to he is a chump. And that is crazy to do. And so for that, he's on this list. Next, we got Kumar Usman. what else is there to say about Usman? Unbelievable year. What did he fight 3 times and defend the belt 3 times?
And
I mean,
always
not a lot of
headlined the
people
card.
fought 3 times this year.
He headlined 2 of the cards we just talked about. Like,
Correct. Yeah, man did his thing. Next, we got Charles Oliveira. Only fought twice, but boy, did he deliver in both occasions. Captured the belt
Was an
once,
underdog both
defended it
times.
another. Correct.
That's
And
true.
everyone counted him out. And I guarantee, no matter who he fights next, regardless if it's McNuggets, McGregor, or Justin Gaethje, people gonna say he got no chance in that fight. Next, we got Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa. Can't get enough of the Tuivasa, man. Had to throw him back on the list. I mean, it might not have been this year, but the recent.
He's not on this one. But I had to put.
Nah, Pimblett ain't on this list, but
No.
regardless if it's this year or not, Tai Tuivasa 4-0 with 4 knockouts in the last 4 fights. Just talking about momentum and stock and rise, he's got to be on this list, especially at heavyweight where one punch can change everything. And we see, the structure and the ladder of the division change so quickly. A guy with 4 knockouts is going to do big things.
And should we talk about one of the most exciting announcements of
Might as
the
well
year?
throw it out. I was just
Yeah.
about to say, might as well throw it out.
We got coming up in February, Tai Tuivasa versus Derek Lewis. We tweeted
right
out from
fight.
Split house. We're gonna have a split house, boys.
Probably.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
I'm flipping a coin.
No Judges tweeted out today. That's going to be a roller coaster of emotion and man meat. And I think that's all I can say about it. Like,
Yeah.
I love both those fighters. They are both extremely talented heavyweights. And that's going to be like, I'm going to go through some shit that night.
I'm drinking a lot.
A lot.
And
But let's.
last but
Not
not least,
very
we got Islam
lead.
Makhachev.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Islam.
Last
Gotta
nominee.
gotta shout out Islam. I mean, had a great year. What else is there to say? Every time he's had a challenge, we thought, oh, he's not Khabib. He proves to me that shit. He is Khabib.
Yeah, he beat one ranked guy this year, so yeah.
No, it's true. But I think just the
It's the
activeness
fashion and
and
how
the
he
way
does
he
it,
did
dude. I don't care. It's almost the Kamzat effect. It's you look so dominant. You gonna beat these half-ranked dudes. Like,
And sadly,
you gonna
I
smash them.
don't want to just put the Khabib factor on him, but in the same way that I think a lot of people didn't
Yo, bet me money
respect.
right now. Isn't he fighting Benny Dariush?
I think
He's
so.
gonna finish Benny Dariush. Bet me money right now.
I'll take that, Cat.
Right
I'll take
fucking
that.
now.
Wait. It depends if it's 3 or 5 rounds.
I don't care. I'll
take
He
Benny.
finishing Benil Dariush, bro. Light work.
People
I
are
don't know
sleeping
about
on
all
the
that.
man. The meal is nasty.
Benny's a bad dude.
Light work.
And if
man.
Benny was a little more active, he might have found himself right on this list.
All right, but let's get into it. Male fighter of the year, though. We got to roll to the decision. Drum roll. Kumar Usman. Gotta have it.
Yeah. I
Champ,
mean,
defend it 3 times. You pretty much are locked to win this belt or
Yeah,
win
we
this
all know.
championship. Yeah.
and I mean, I've gassed up Kamaru as much as I possibly can on this podcast, and I will continue to do so. Seeing this champion get to where he got to, he had to take the tough road to the championship, unlike some of these, flash in the pan, like you maybe said in Islam, who only fought one ranked fighter. Now he wants top 5 fights. Kamaru went through the absolute blender. When he got the title, he was dominating people. And he was still getting, clowned for, he's Marty Snoozman. He's just a wrestler.
He reminds me
And
a lot of John
out.
Jones.
He showed
weirdly.
he showed it this year that at the moment he is the greatest MMA fighter on the world, pound for pound, all around everything he does.
The way he game plans and knows that he can just always use his wrestling reminds me a lot of John Jones. I don't know why. Just the way he game plans and goes about it, it gives me big Johnny Bones vibes.
Yeah, I don't hate that. That's a fight I would obviously love to see, but I don't think we're going to ever see Bones
Nope.
back at anywhere close to 205 or 185. So if we ever see him again. But congratulations, Kumar Usman. Well deserved. Little obvious, but had to do it. Female fighter of the year. I think this will be a little tighter of a category. This was a category that I will say this was when I was doing my research. There was a lot of talented women that came on the scene, but
Amanda Nunes has won this division won this award like 4 years in a row.
Correct.
Across the board on every single platform you've ever seen, and rightfully so. And so this year, the fact that she wasn't the odds-on goddamn pure lock to win this award, it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Where do we go from
now
here?
we got to do some research.
Correct.
And I will say there's a lot of very talented women and even undefeated women, but there was a lot of people who weren't as active as you may like, where they only had 1 or 2 fights. So we kind of had to, dig around and see what we got. But you want to hit the nominees?
No, I don't.
I got you. First up, the champion, Valentino Chefchenko, a staple. I mean, she took care of business. Only 2 fights this year, but domination. What more is there to say about the champ? What's next for her? Maybe another Nunes rematch, possibly now. We'll see where that goes. Then, talking about the person who knocked off Nunes, we got to put on Juliana Pena. She has to be a nominee here. Upset of the year. 2-1, I think the only one with a loss on this list, actually. But a very big win that will absolutely project you into this top 5. And then someone that I really want to highlight, Marina Rodriguez. 3-0 on the year. She had a fantastic year, and if you don't know her name yet, you need to. She's going to be fighting in the top 5 all this year, and she's going to be, I think, a title contender very soon. So really wanted to give her a shout-out. Someone else up on the rise, Casey O'Neill, also 3-0, 3 finishes. Would love to give her even more recognition.
She's fighting Roxanne Modafferi soon.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting fight because obviously Casey O'Neill has kind of shown a smothering ground game, but that's sort of Roxanne's game. So now she's going to dip her toe in 2022 into the, real meat of this division and see if she actually belongs. So love that she's a nominee. That might keep her from winning this. But our last nominee, Rose Namajunas. I mean, she shocked the world and at the beginning of the year.
She was an underdog both of those fights.
Yeah.
And it was crazy that in the second fight, although she couldn't finish it like she did the first time, that her control meant more than Weili's control. Just the way she was able to get takedowns and the fact that they meant more ended up being a huge factor in that fight. And it just showed the IQ and the willingness and the wherewithal of a champion and a fighter of the year like she is.
Exactly. That's our winner, Rose Namajunas.
Yeah.
She's won
Just
our
shows what
female
she's
fighter
about.
of the year. Congratulations. And I think it's similar to the way we said in our male fighter of the year in Kumar Usman. She was a champion. She defended the belt twice, and I like how Nil said in
Trevor
that second
Whitman
fight.
had both fighters of the year.
Trevor Whitman won coach. Female was Rose. Male is Usman.
And Justin Gaethje sitting on the doorstep of a goddamn title shot.
Wow.
Yikes.
The year of Whitman. The year of Whitman.
2021.
That's pretty much how you say it. I mean,
100%.
I got to give all the credit to Rose. And like Nil said in that second fight, the way she showed that all-around game, that's something I really look in if you're going to be a champion or take it to that
She just
next
showed
level.
she's a champion in that fight. It's just the little things when you get to that high of a level. Yo, I'm going to just control you and throw a couple punches here and make it look like this and be in a side control and switch back to this and be in full guard and just moving around and making it look like it's more and just being grimy and dirty and just a champion,
No doubt.
Yes, sir.
But anything else on this last year of scraps or anything looking forward?
Is this it?
Man, definitely looking forward. I'm excited to get back into some
We
fights.
didn't get
It's
into
been
fight of the year?
cold month. It's been a cold month.
Did
We
we,
never
not
had a
put
fight
of the year?
We never put fight of the fucking year on here.
We're going freestyle. Freestyle fight of the year. We're all picking and we're all agreeing.
All right.
My
Gaethje Chandler.
first. Your Gaethje Chandler?
Yep.
Because it was a championship fight, I'm going to go with Volk and Ortega. The ups and downs, the roller coaster, holy shit. I was sweating everywhere. That's my fight. I would love to watch that.
Put on the clip. Put on the clip of where he escapes. Round 3 is the round of the year, and that's up there. To me, we got co-champions this year. We got fucking Volkanovsky, Ortega, and fucking Chandler Gaethje as co-champs of Fight of the Year. And round of the year is fucking round 3 of this shit. And this might be one of the most legendary rounds of all time.
Let me.
This is one of the best rounds.
And also shout out to Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah, no doubt.
Great fight. Great fight.
Let me see.
And you know what else? Peter Yan and Sandhagen.
Yep, that was a good fight.
Yeah, that was elite. That first round and a half was an
Why do I feel like Aldo was in a great fight this year? Or am I tripping?
He fucked up fought. He fought Pedro Munoz, won pretty handedly.
Prohaska Reyes was a good fight before it got finished.
True.
Yeah.
That was a great fight.
Oh, whoops. Let's get that.
We need a comeback of the year.
Oh, I mean, that was Clay Guida all day. We already know that.
Clay Guida all day. But we need that next year. Comeback of the year.
Oh, yeah.
And that
we'll
could be
clean up the
anything.
judges for sure. But let's just enjoy the best round of the year. This third round between Ortega and Volkanovsky.
The fact that fucking crazy. Is he Australian or New Zealand?
Australian.
Crazy
He hasn't been
Australian.
training. He hasn't been training that much with CKB anymore because of like the restrictions. So he like called around like Sydney and anywhere and was like, let's get guys in here. And he's been training with like his coach, fucking Joey Bags, Joe Lopez.
And the triangle. Not only
I forgot about
Ross
that triangle. That was
Pearson
nasty.
and fucking Jamie Malarkey out there. They've been getting the
finished
crew
on
like,
top.
yeah, crazy round.
Insanity.
He got put in his
Absolute
two
crazy.
best moves that came out, and that's what won him this fight. The fact
His
that
name is
Ortega tried his two best moves and couldn't finish him, and then it was just a
Round
mental
4
game.
wasn't good.
No, round 4 wasn't as good.
But I mean, how could you
But
back that
yeah,
up?
how can you back up a round like that? Do we want to see the finish of this fight?
No.
No.
We're good there. Anything, maybe a hot take for 2022 before we get out of here?
Yeah,
One
a hot take for 2022. Muhammad Makhachev will be a contender by year's end. Will be like, yo, I'm like next in line or like one or like he'll be up there. I promise you.
Wow.
Like I'm telling you,
Okay.
we gonna be like, yo, he's next in the flyweight division. For sure.
Interesting.
I have a hot take, but I don't want to say. I don't want that to happen.
Let's get it.
Say it, P.
I think we're gonna see fucking Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul at some point.
Yikes. But I kind of do want to see that. But I don't for
I don't wanna
other
see
reasons.
I don't want to see it.
Hot
That's
take.
fair.
Hot take for 2022. And I've been brewing on this one for a while.
Oh, God.
Stipe fights Arjun Bullard in one championship for the title.
Wow. That would be
Crazy, like some
massive.
crazy shit happens. That
That's
John
a-
Jones gets the next shot after Cyril and Francis, and Stipe feels so disrespected. And Chatri's like, "Yo, back up, like,
I'll give you the bag. Let's go.
let's go. You got next." Like, dude, it just smells like he's gonna. And let's say Derek Lewis one piece is fucking tie in the first round. Then we're talking Derek Lewis is next against fucking Cyril, John Jones, or dude. I'm telling you, I've been steaming on this one for a while. I really think Stipe, maybe there's a trade. Maybe this is the next time we get a trade. Maybe they send us somebody.
I could see
don't know.
Akra Yoon coming to the.
I don't know who they would trade. But
Yeah. I mean, because if you're gonna do a trade for like a guy like Stipe, you have to give up something pretty legit.
Yeah, Akrayan, you'd have to give up like a champion.
Yeah.
But regardless, I just think Stipe is going to one championship to fight
That
for
is
the
a
belt.
very hot
immediately.
take. Very,
That's a
very,
very
hot.
hot
Rick?
Yeah, I just think he
And-
gets fucked out of the championship.
My hot take, kind of the theme of this award show, but similar to it doesn't work into what Nil's planning out, but I think that Tai Tuivasa will get a title shot in 2022.
Oh,
He's going to shock the world
but
against Derek Lewis.
But if he defeats Derek Lewis, then he jumps the line on Stipe, so it doesn't matter. The
exactly.
winner of that fight jumps Stipe, and that's why he's going to 1 and fighting fucking Arjun Buller or whoever the fuck the champ is, and he's taking him on instantly, and it's done. Stipe's just gonna walk, and they're gonna make him a stud. It makes way too much sense, even
Holy
if he
shit.
has fights left.
Well, we got some heavyweight takes for some heavyweight fights in a
Let's go,
heavyweight year.
2022.
I think
get some fucking
2022
fights
is
in.
going to be a massive year for the UFC.
This also might be a massive year for the podcast. You might see me make my first amateur fight. Keep your eyes out. We about this life.
Yeah, and hit us up if you want one of these nice No Judges Necessary t-shirts. We got a few in stock, and we'll have more details on those later. So,
There we
much
go,
love.
boy.
We out.